Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Evolution podcast, where we meet with leaders in the coaching and training industry to discuss evolving business and client, or in this case, student impact in the era of AI. And today we're fortunate to have Dr. Marat Ressin with us. Marat is a successful businessman who re-engineered and sold 36 distressed companies before turning that work into a PhD in small business crisis management. And since then, he's gone on to found and run the York Entrepreneurship Development Institute. Welcome, Marat, or Dr. Ressin. Great to have you. Please feel free to add some introduction to yourself in case I missed any of the key points there.
Oh, thank you very much, and thanks for having me. Well, it's enough titles for me. let's uh, let's start talking.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there'll be much more to unpack within each of those that'll come out in the
Yeah.
questions. Yeah, great to have you here, and look forward to learning from you. So today our episode is going to be on AI in entrepreneurial education, and as the operator of an educational institution that also serves as an entrepreneurial accelerator, I'm sure incorporating AI into running the establishment is just as important as ensuring that student business owners are employing AI. So lots of different topics and use cases here, from internal use to the students. But before we jump into the specifics, Dr. Ressin, it would be great to just hear the story of what took you to YEDI and starting this institution.
Yes, as you mentioned, I like to create startups, and and you rightfully said I created already 36. I'm working on my 37 right now, 37th. But of course, I started to do my PhD not at the end of all this journey, but somewhere in the middle. At some point, I decided that since I'm working with startups from many different sectors, and the patterns are the same, so maybe it should be some theory behind that. And I decided to write my PhD thesis, which was, as you said, small business crisis management. It was very interesting. And since then, I'm doing some academic research work, which I like, and continue doing business as well. On top of creating startups, I also have my group of companies, which is related to real estate development and business development. So I like doing all this stuff, and I like teaching. I came to Canada back in 2008 from Russia, and I wanted to rebuild everything that I had back there. So I started to work at the Schulich School of Business in the executive education building, and I suggested to them to open a program for startup entrepreneurs, because Schulich is a great school, and they have great programs even from executive education point of view, but for big corporations. So I said, why don't we have something for startups?
Yeah,
And people said it's really hard, because startup founders, they need all their money to invest into their startups, not to pay
yeah,
high levels for tuition, right?
yes,
And that was the issue, and that's why they never actually opened the programs like that. So I said, we will do it in a different model. And that's why we registered YEDI, which is York Entrepreneurship Development Institute, as a charitable organization. So who pays? Not the students, those who have the money, but still involved in the ecosystem, meaning investors. So big part of our budget comes from donations from investors who want to look at the startups of our graduates, and this way people may participate in our programs tuition free. It's very competitive though, because we need to bring a good product to the market. Otherwise, nobody will support us. So coming back to YEDI, and that's how YEDI started actually
yeah,
in Schulich School of Business.
hmm
And then, of course, we teach our students to grow. I always say to my students, the business is like a tree. If it's not growing, it's dead. You have to grow, and that's a yeah. You have to show what you teach, right? And that's why YEDI was growing, and it is growing. And then back in 2021, we separated as a separate college. So we have two big campuses here, in one in Toronto, in North York, another one in York region, both close to York University. And right now, and you're the first person who get to know it, we're purchasing a new building very close to University of Toronto, on the
yep.
corner of Bloor and Spadina. I hope we'll open the doors in September. So, we
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. We are growing. Now, coming back to YEDI, yes, it's a charitable organization. It's an academic institute. It's a college. It's a venture fund. It's a startup hub. So it's just one-stop shop for all the entrepreneurial needs. We have all our instructors are high-level academics and successful entrepreneurs.
Hmm.
It's a very rare animal. It's very hard to
Yeah.
catch, and we try to catch all of them. And if you go to our website and look at our faculty members, you will see they're all very successful entrepreneurs and academics and people who can teach, because it's not all together everywhere. So we have great programs.
It's a fantastic combination of an incubator, accelerator, and educational program. Yeah, really impressive. It's really clear how you're driving value for the donors and the investors, right? You're providing a pathway for these people to start their businesses and grow their businesses, and then the same people that are financing the educational aspect ultimately have the ability to invest. I guess, could you just tell us a little bit more about what's unique about YEDI's programming, aside from, you created this amazing ecosystem, you've got like the right people in place. Anything else you want to highlight for our listeners about what's so successful about that ecosystem?
Yes, YEDI, all the YEDI programs are really unique. I think nothing similar exists, at least in Canada. You can find something similar in the States, maybe in
Yeah.
Babson College or something like that, but not in Canada. I believe we're the only in Canada, and that's why we're so successful.
Hmm.
So it's a really hands-on programs and academic at the same time. So people come to our programs with their startup ideas, and every course, every piece of knowledge that they receive, they have to apply onto their own startups.
Hmm.
And we schedule our programs the way that people have time to work on their startups, and so on. We have different programs. We have semester programs. We have diploma programs, which are year-long programs. So certificate semester programs. We have a program so-called incubator for-profit startups. We have a program called nonprofit for leaders of nonprofit organizations.
Hmm.
We teach them how to lead nonprofits as people run startups. And we have diploma programs. So, for example, our signature diploma program, we're a college, so we can give diplomas. We cannot give degrees yet. We're working on it, but we can give the college diplomas. And our signature program called Entrepreneurship and Small Business Management, it's actually a 2-year MBA program, shrinked into 12 months, because two year it's 16 months, right?
Yeah.
8 and 8.
Yep.
So the same courses we shrink into 12 months.
Yeah. Just done consecutively. Yeah.
Entrepreneurs don't have time, so it starts in September and it ends at the end of August, and it's structured literally as MBA in entrepreneurship. It just we as a college we cannot provide master's degree diplomas. However, there are some universities around the globe that accept our credits as their master's degree credits, and we used to be able to issue master's degrees through other universities to our graduates.
Hmm.
At some point, I hope we'll get our own license, and then we'll be able
Yeah.
to do it. But it's a really high level, hands-on MBA type of program in entrepreneurship, and I highly recommend to everyone. International students pay $40,000 tuition. However, for Canadian students as a charity, we're doing our very best to make sure this program is tuition free, and almost everyone manages to not pay any tuition. We
Wow.
take some deposit, and people have to keep academic results properly,
Yeah. Of
and
course.
then we release the deposit at the end of the program if everything is fine.
Yeah. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I guess I'm curious a little bit. We're talking about you and like the startup of YEDI, and I'm curious, like, what are the main things that you're up to as the CEO of YEDI these days? What are the main focal points for you?
I normally say to people in our office, if you want to know where we're going, ask me, because I'm the president. I have to be visionary. But if you want to know how we're getting there, go ask somebody else. For example, director of operations, director of academic affairs, or something. Don't ask me. I'm the visionary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
What's the main vision that you're working on right now?
um, well, there's a big shift in the market trends right now, including the implementation of AI, of course. And with all the technology that it counts, we want to become as global as it's possible. Right now, all our auditoriums are equipped with technology that allows people from any Canadian province to join us, locals and others. As I mentioned, we are building now, we're acquiring the building, and we're building now
Yeah, yeah,
big campus in downtown Toronto, and I'm a little bit too much excited about it.
yeah,
So
yeah. We
with this
talked about it a
kind,
lot in the last call. I remember it was great. It was
yeah,
great.
I'm a big fan of partnerships, so I'm thinking maybe to offer to different big corporations to have their startup branches within our campus there in downtown. That's the vision I have for that campus, because that's the beauty of
Ah,
being small business. You can make mistakes.
yeah,
Big corporations, they're slow like big elephant because they have
yeah,
all the procedures, they have all the policies and everything. They're slow. But small business, it's like little mouse. Goes here and there, tries, fails, who cares, tries again.
yeah. I like
That's
that.
why
I
not.
like that. And then in that model, the corporation could help on the financial side rather than other donors and investors, right? Because obviously, like there isn't other investors, right? It stays within the corporation. So if they want
Yeah.
to outsource the accelerator dynamic, then they can pay for it. I'm guessing would be the model there, right?
Yeah, and by the way, for that matter, because corporations prefer, instead of giving donations, to give money for sponsorship, we created a different foundation called Canadian Foundation for Innovation and Research. So I hope to get money from corporations for our startup hub through that foundation as well.
Gotcha, gotcha. So yeah, a few different ways of you guys bringing in the revenue side of the business there. Really interesting. We talked a little bit about like the governance side and how there's the barrier of the type of degree classification, right? Right now it's only diplomas. Last time we also talked about governance as it applies to AI. I think like that would be an interesting place to start as we kind of enter like the industry conversation here. So I guess I'm curious, like where does governance and regulation get in the way of incorporating AI in education and AI into the business that's facilitating this great education? And how are you navigating that?
Right. So we are using AI now in all the different aspects of what we do. It starts from governing processes. It includes educational components. It includes the processes of the educational processes and so on. As every college, to talk to any college or university, you will know that all these processes and policies of the Ministry of Higher Education, don't tell anyone, are really, really outdated, and it's so bureaucratic and this and that. So from one perspective, you have to fulfill all the requirements, even they make not much sense. And from other perspective, you want to be as efficient as possible
Hmm.
because the market now is not the easiest, right? You need to save on expenses. And that's why AI really, really helps. Because, for example, we have to use different platforms. The one that universities use, like called Populi, for example, for admissions, and then another platform for the educational courses, and then the third and so on and so forth. And those
Yeah,
platforms, you have to use them, but they don't talk to each other.
yeah.
And
There's no
it's really,
integration.
really, really waste of human resources and time and so on and so forth. So
Mhm.
we are actively working on different AI solutions to make sure that our platforms talk to each other. And from A to Z, all the processes. It's an intake process. As I mentioned, our programs are very competitive. So
Yeah,
we are getting sometimes for some programs we get 30 applications per seat. Like we really, really, really need to apply efforts working on it and selecting. And AI helps us a lot. For them, we don't we don't rely on AI for the decisions
of course.
that we make. Yeah, but it really, really saves us time.
Yeah, it
So,
helps surface the things that you decide on, right? It
yeah.
brings all of the factors to consider to light and maybe provides some like initial hypotheses and some guidance.
Exactly. First of all, it may analyze what internet says about the applicant, not only what they say about themselves,
Yeah.
but also what can we learn about them. Because for us,
Yep.
very important to make sure that people are coachable, that people can communicate normally in the classroom, and that people have this entrepreneurial spark in the eye. We will assess the idea ourselves, but AI helps us to understand the quality of the people who apply. But of
Mhm.
course, all the final decision are made by selection committee, by humans, by our professors. But AI really saves time on that, on the intake. Now, during the educational time, as I mentioned, all our courses are really hands-on, and after every session, students have to communicate with each other online, and we give them topics to discuss, and they have to discuss. It's very important because they all look from their own backgrounds and from the perspective of their own startups, and it's important. It's a must. It's an integral part of our programs, but somebody have to supervise it to see if people really add value to somebody else,
Yeah.
or they just formally type something and so on. The AI helps us to control this and to manage it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Also, yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just saying like there's so many things to consider and there's so many ways that like AI can potentially be plugging in to facilitate things. But yeah, I know that it's a complicated dynamic too with the ministry, and I'm sure that that must be like a frustrating thing. I guess I was just kind of curious, like you mentioned a couple of things that you were able to automate. Like where is the line drawn right now? Like what's the most problematic frontier that you're not able to push yet because of their requirements? Or is it mostly just internal operations? Maybe we touched on it a little bit last week.
I just don't want to make problems on my head.
No, no,
This one.
that's super
But,
valid.
but for example, they literally require us to keep information about every student printed in a safe physically. That's an old requirement that still exists, and they have to fulfill it somehow. And we negotiated with them that we will download this information to USB stick and put it into the safe, which makes zero sense. But it's one of the examples, as well
Yeah.
as using different platforms. Like, for example, the ministry has their own platform, which is really outdated, but we have to use it, and we need our platforms to talk to that platform. Otherwise, it's like really human time to take information from one platform and
Mhm.
download it to other platform. It's financial information. It's about students. It's communication with students. Many other things. So this is one of important things is to make the platforms that we have to use to talk to each other.
Gotcha, gotcha. I won't push any more too much on the internal operations and the regulations that are restricting it. I guess I think an interesting pivot would be to go to like the growth side. You said that you guys are focusing on opening these new campuses, and another one in Toronto. Also, I think you mentioned one in Israel as well is in
Yes,
progress. Um,
yes. We
curious
purchased
how you
land a few
guys.
years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's been underway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Curious how you guys have thought about using it. So I'm curious, AI in the donor and investor pipeline, but also in terms of creating expansion plans and thinking about like market entry. Is there any degree to which AI has been used there, or is this mostly based on where there's existing traction? Obviously, it made sense to go out of Toronto, right? Because you have the existing location there. So curious how that thought process has been.
First of all, we don't want to nail ourselves to Toronto whatsoever. As I said, we proudly have students from any corner of our beautiful country. Most of our donors, yes, they are from Ontario. We have some people from the States who want to support us as well, but mostly here. Yes, we use now AI, specifically not for YEDI itself, but the foundation. Remember, I mentioned the foundation that
Yeah.
works with corporations to analyze what corporations want and what they expect to see, because the message should be tailored to a specific corporation, to their policies and so on, to their bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And it's a really time-consuming process, and AI helps a lot with that
Hmm.
because we are.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It helps us to prepare, package the proposal to to every bank, to every corporation, specifically tailored to their problems and needs.
Hmm. Yeah, no, makes a lot of sense. And then I guess I'm curious. You said like the corporations is like another thing that you're starting to explore. Is that like a very new thing? Like you mentioned before, like the donors and the investors, but then corporation, like startup branches. Where is that in the process of being incorporated, and how's AI being thought of in terms of that?
Right. It's a relatively new thing for us because we didn't want to fundraise more than we need, actually, and we were able to cover our expenses. And the good thing is actually that more and more graduates of previous years of our programs, they actually give back to our institute. So we have
Uh,
some revenue from them as well, which is good, and we are proud of it. But of course, with overall economy going not in the best direction right now, we want to look at additional markets. And yes, like last year, like approximately a year ago, maybe less, we started thinking about corporations because we never thought so. We work with small VCs and angel investors in most cases. And when we started to think about corporations, as I said, we registered this foundation and we started to contact. And right now we're in the process of creating our proposals to different corporations. So
yeah.
we're on it right now, and we're actively using AI in this process.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That was going to be my question is like as you're reaching out to these companies, like how is AI getting used within the process? I know you're not caught in the day to day, so I'm sure there's many levels of nuance to the degree that it's being used. But it sounds to me like you guys have done a great job incorporating it both in the programs and in internal systems. So I'd imagine that that the sales team and sales team, but partnership team is using it a lot for proposal creation. I'm sure that's the
Yes,
feedback you've heard.
yes. First of all, you have to understand the needs of the specific corporation.
Yeah.
It's like the time of general approach already gone. So you have to be very specific, and you have to understand the problem. Maybe the corporation does not understand by themselves their problems related to small business, because as I mentioned, it's easier for corporations to acquire small businesses rather than try something new for themselves. And that's
Yeah.
why it's a very popular exit strategy for startups, acquisition by corporations. So we're
Yeah.
looking toward them. It was very easy for us to understand how to deal with angel investors. Let's say you want to invest in startup, we will teach them, and you will benefit from it. Very
Mhm.
easy deal, right? But when you're working with corporations, you have to explain to them how they save time, money, efforts, reputational damage on trying something new and working with startups. And to give this proposal, you have to deeply understand the corporation. So,
Mhm.
and you cannot you cannot spend as much human time, right, to do research and everything, and
Mhm.
analyze their policies. So it has to dig into their policies and understand into their budgets and everything. It's a huge work that only AI can afford.
Yeah. I guess I'm curious your personal opinion on this. Do you think that as AI continues to evolve and become more powerful, that bigger corporations have more potential to develop things internally, and that it's actually smarter for them to develop internally rather than go to the market? And are you guys leaning on that as a almost sales point in order to attract these companies?
I still don't think it's a good idea for corporations to try something new on themselves. It's better to allow small business to deal with that. But AI may help corporations to select proper small business, and vice versa, for small businesses to see where it can work the best, where the chances are best. And we want YEDI and specifically our hub in downtown that we're building now to be the middleman
Hmm.
who will connect here and there. Maybe at some point we'll be successfully substituted by ourselves, and it's fine. It's fine. No problem.
I doubt it. I
Nowadays,
feel like there's so many moving parts. There's so many moving parts to just fully
yeah.
substitute it. But
And by the way, it's part of what we teach our students. Like, think ahead of time, because if the product that you're bringing to the market right now will be substituted by AI tomorrow, why would you
don't bring it.
waste your money, time, and so on and so forth? Now, I believe we discussed it with you last time. Like, I think very important social um, part of what business does is creating jobs. And with this changing world, it's very important to create the jobs of the future. So every startup founder has to think what kind of jobs they're creating. Is it the jobs that will be killed tomorrow? Then again, don't waste your time, don't waste your resources, because your competition will just start using AI, and then you wasted your time and resources. Uh,
Yeah.
instead, instead, start from AI right away, or just choose something else.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, and even to that note, it's obviously harmful to the business, but also to the person who gets hired, right? Like if you're creating jobs in a place where the jobs are going to go away anyways, you're giving a false sense of hope and a false sense of security in the existence of that job. So there's no point in validating something that's getting like disproven. Do it the way that the future is paving for it to be, and figure out what the new human need uh, or leveled up human need of that job title is, or whether
exactly.
it's different amount of time allocation and it's just a different dynamic, or if it's a fully different job description. It's important to figure out.
There's a very important social mission of every business, including startups, which is making our society a better place. If you
Mm,
want to be successful, you find the problem in the society and solve this problem. So people who are affected will become a natural customer, right?
mhm.
So you have to think about this. You have to be a servant of this society. And part of this service is creation of jobs that make sense in the AI future.
Yep, totally agree. Totally agree. With that, with just thinking about the AI future, I guess thinking on a medium, let's say, time frame, just because nowadays a year is no longer a short time frame because of how fast everything moves. I guess if you look forward into the next like 6 to 12 months, what are some of like the main things that you hope YEDI has achieved?
Specifically for YEDI, well, I hope we'll open the new campus. This new campus is the entire new stream for us. It's more tailored to corporations, as I said, downtown crowd, and so on, so forth. And I think we'll become even more open to global market.
Hmm.
As a Canadian charity, we always try to serve Canadians first of all, but I think with AI that helps us to conduct all our processes, we may do things much faster, and we can we do go global. We went global all the time, but the way how it worked, we brought our students um, to other countries, or we brought our professors with the programs to other countries and so on. But I think that nowadays we can go global much more efficiently. And also, of course, all these online programs and so on, there are so many of them, and nobody really pays attention much to it. But if you properly use AI to make it like really specific for every person,
Hmm.
today we can do it. We can do it specifically for this particular person, not just group of people, not region, not country, but to every person.
Yeah,
Then there's a huge market for that.
it's crazy how there's really two sides of the personalization of AI. In one way, it's like taking away from and dehumanizing, right? And you're taking it away from the person, but because of its ability to capture so much nuance, it's really able to learn and understand individual people, circumstances, companies, donors, investors, etc. so well. So it sounds like at YEDI, you guys are doing a great job of factoring in all of those things, and that's really great to hear, and I think inspirational to our listeners. And obviously, I've talked to a lot of different types of leaders in the coaching and training, professional coaching and training industry, and this you're the first one that's the head of an educational institution. So I think that this is good education for everybody, right? What capabilities are out there in the startup world and with their businesses that they're running. So really appreciated all the input. I guess just last question that I like to end on is always about what's the biggest problem that exists, right? So if you could magically fix one thing that's happening right now in the context of YEDI, whether it's like running internally or capturing as much investment as possible and traction with companies, what is the one thing that you could magically have resolved so that you can achieve that 12-month goal that we talked about?
Um, you know what? It's very important for us that while students use AI and other tools, they continue thinking, and they can continue using their mind and their hearts to make the society better. It's very important because nowadays, psychologically, everyone relies on AI. Okay, I'll use AI. So as part of all the programs we have, after every course of any program, our students have to write an essay, let's say, which is part of the future business plan, related to their project. Like, for example, if it's a marketing course, they'll write an essay related to the marketing strategy for their startup specifically. And you can tell as many times as you want to the students, just write it yourself. And then use AI to make the wording nicer. Write it yourself first. So this is the biggest problem I see today, because we're sort of losing this opportunity to use the best of our humankind for the development of startups. And I really believe, and that's also why it's important for us to have this charitable model, that believe in social mission of successful business. So this is slowly going out, and it should be a solution. It should be a solution, even using the AI itself. It may be a solution, but that's what I'm thinking right now, and to answer your question.
Gotcha. No, I like that. Like making sure that people are grounding with using their human touch in the right way, so that they're not letting AI drive the course and drive the course away from what actually matters to people. Yeah. No, I really like that. I think that
AI is a tool. Use it as a tool.
Yes. People have switched to the point where like the human has become the tool almost. Like AI does it first and then the human goes and like edits after. It's like, no, put your heart, mind, and soul into it. Let it amplify that. And then you can do reconciling afterwards and use it to help beautify and help perfect the language. You know, my vocabulary is not the best myself, right? Like I love to use it to buff up the way that things are articulated, but what's being articulated, I try to keep as close to mine as possible. No, really like that. And last question for our listeners who might be interested in what YEDI has to offer, or peers looking to collaborate, where can they find information about you and YEDI?
Great. So go to our website, which is yedi.ca, YEDI, and we have all the information there. You're welcome to apply to our diploma program, which is Entrepreneurship and Small Business Management. The application, I don't remember if it's already open, but it will be open soon in any case. Also, if you run a nonprofit, you're welcome to apply into the program for nonprofits as well. And basically look at different programs that we have. We have different events every second week. We have different events in our campuses. So join our events, sign up for our information, emails, and so on and so forth. YEDI has a lot to offer, and as a proud Canadian charity, we offer all of this tuition or payment free. So come join us.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ressin, for your time, and thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a great episode.
Thank you for having me.
If today's conversation resonated with you and you're looking to learn how business leaders are driving value using AI, make sure to hit subscribe. Feel free to check out our other episodes, and I've also left my LinkedIn in the description below, so you're welcome to connect, and I will see you next time.